We got no sound. We got no sound. Oh no. We got no sound on there. Oh, that's a crazy way. That's crazy. We got take it from the top. Tickets from the top. What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Last day of the month. Keep that in mind. Last day of the month. So if you guys have yearly goals, make sure you guys know where you're at for the year. When the curse is going and there's no sound, yeah, I know. But make sure you know where you're at. Where all those goals you set January 1st, whether it's a fiscal goal, whether it's a educational goal, whether it's, hey, you know what? I haven't made it through all those courses that I wanted to take yet. End of the fifth month is a good month for that checkpoint, right? Make sure that you guys go because we got one more month and we're like halfway through. It's a lot harder to catch up then, right? If you have a certain amount of R's you're trying to get, if you're trying to get your accounts a certain way, if you're trying to be investing every single month, make sure that you guys are on pace. And when it comes to day trading, obviously there's a lot of candles involved, a lot of technicals, a lot of moving averages that you can go off of, understanding sentiment. All that is extremely, extremely important. But more importantly than that is managing that book, managing that account. Make sure that, if you guys are up for the year and slightly on the line in the positives, maybe you don't want to trade as much today. Maybe you're well ahead of this month. You have a couple trades to give, but you know where, hey, I'm happy if I leave with 8 hours for the month, 10 hours for the month, 15 hours for the month, 2 hours for the month, 1 hour for the month, whatever your goal is. Make sure that you guys know where you are because we got one more month. So we can play catch up for a month if we have to. But then we're at the halfway mark. So pretty crazy for sure. I got all you guys before. I said hello to all you guys. I know you didn't hear me, and ladies, and all my YouTube people. Not hitting that like and subscribe button out there, all the lurkers. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. We got PCE. Core PCE came in essentially in line. It was a little actually hot. It was like 0.1 higher for the year over year, month to month was essentially in line. Market took it as a little bit positive. Are we giving a little bit back? No, we're still just hanging out up there. Still just hanging out. So market took it as positive. We do now have a gap and go on the SPY. Good bounce off that 20 EMA so far. A little bit of support below us from yesterday's VPOC. That's 524.04. And then to the higher side, I'm looking for about 526, maybe into like 526.26. I like those double numbers. Sounds cool. Sounds fantastic. Still below this bearish engulfing candle though. So there is still two scenarios where, okay, this is maybe our confirmation that we're coming down. We get that retest, and then we start to give it a little bit more of a pullback in June, perhaps. That's the scenario. If we start getting a close, and I go probably a little higher than that 526.26, probably like 526.30, 526.40. If we end up getting above this zone, well, then we probably maybe have this in the cards, or obviously we could still make new highs. So we'll see. But this is still, now that we had that confirmed, we are getting a bounce off that 20. I think we still have a little bit of a debate of which way this market wants to actually go. But by the dippers, I mean they came in yesterday. They've shown that they're still alive in the markets. They haven't thrown the towel in, not yet. Wayne says you expecting kangaroo court. He has convictions on Trump to affect the markets. Um, DJT was running. Obviously, that's going to be direct correlation. So that one dropped after hours with the verdict coming in yesterday. And then we're up this morning. So we had a good $13, $14 flip yesterday on DJT. Overall market, probably not yet. We might get a little bit of no, and then I think we got what, June? Was it June or July? July 11th was supposed to get sentencing for Trump, and he's gonna have plenty of time to get the appeals out there. So that whole thing's gonna be delayed till who knows when. So who knows if we even see any type of like sentencing come down or what happens. definitely uncharted territories. Um, I don't think we see really in I don't think we see any real effect to the actual market until we see the polls change. And I don't know necessarily that the polls will change. It's just too soon to tell because the polls will, regardless, doesn't matter if Trump is doing jail time or Trump is free or he's get house arrest. Somebody was saying that doesn't matter too much for the overall markets. Obviously, for political stance and whatever you guys, whichever side of the aisle you guys are on, that's up to you. But his policies, if he gets elected, will be a lot different than Joe Biden's policies, right? That's where the market's going to take in. Like, so if you have, I mean, any Republican candidate wins the White House, it's going to be different policies, different focus. You might not get as much EV focus than you would if Joe Biden gets reelected, right? There's going to be different topics that they focus. So if we see the polls start to change and we see that because of this, Biden is now picking up the lead, sentiment's trying to switch a little bit, then I'd say, okay, some different categories will be affected, but we still have a long time until those. Unfortunately, I feel like we have a long time until uh the election. Like that's way too. We have way too many months. This is just getting started. So I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, it's the market's going to be more focused on the policy of who's getting into the White House. That would be the first step, and then as their presidency, whoever it might be, as they start passing things, talking about different topics, trying to get other bills passed, things like that, that's going to affect the overall market. Right now, way too soon and probably a big nothing burger. But if you do want to play it, DJT would be your direct play into anything Donald Trump for right now. We got Q's, and be careful. DJT is only based on Donald Trump. It has got nothing to do with fundamentals, nothing like that. So it's a little bit of that meme effect to it too. The Q's, a little bit of a gap up, not such a strong one. I can't imagine why. It's not like we had Dell get clobbered and Mongo database get clobbered, and they're like, I don't know. But Q's, they're still gaining a little bit of a gap up, a little bit higher than yesterday's lows. But we are into a resistance, or we got one slightly above us, 452.88. The next stop up, yesterday's VPOC, 453.68. That's going to be a key spot if we can get up there, especially if we can close above it. And then we got piles of resistance above us now. We got 454.83. SPY at least hit the 20. Q's not even there yet, so not horrible. With this gap though, we are back into this candle, so little sign of hope at least. TLT, let's see if the bond people believing any of this. So far they are, so that's good. If TLT could stay up there, gain some footing, gain some ground, that should be positive. The bond people are kind of liking that PCE today that came out. I want some of whatever they juice him up with Biden. Yeah, no, you got to go to Cambodia. That's the only place that sells it. At least the affordable kind. That's the only one. I don't know. But bond people still feeling good. Let me know if you guys got tickers. We will take a look at Dell. Lucian says now Dell is something that markets care about. Guidance must have been down or something. Yeah, so they came in with a beat, not by much. We said this yesterday, and there's a little unsuspecting thing that I didn't think was going to happen in this one. But we did say these guys have to come out and absolutely crush it. This is still Dell, it's not Nvidia, right? They've been on an absolute tear. We've said, I mean, they've gone from whatever 115 to we'll call it 175, something like that, over the course of 3 months, 2.5 months. That's a monster move. They have to come in and they're going to now have that high bar they have to beat. And I thought that was going to be difficult. They beat on earnings, right? But did they blow it out of the water? Not necessarily. The one thing I did not expect for them to do is guide down, which they did. So they said next quarter is going to be probably a little bit weaker. What's the revenue side of things on this one? Yep, 557 million. So it's not like, I'm not like, hey, they're going out of business. I don't think. No, not enough. We're still up for the year. Pretty crazy, but monster gap down. The guide lower was a surprise on that one. I didn't think we would probably guide lower, and I think that threw off a lot of people. So I think a lot of people were kind of also expecting like, hey, this is gonna be a tough one to beat. But yeah, they did guide lower. So I don't know. Uh, Problem with Dell now though, and is today a buy the dip. Well, we do have a red candle yesterday. Got some bulls maybe trapped at one point during the day. This is a retest, technically speaking, but that's also an inside candle from this kind of bullish breakout candle. So I would probably go with this green candle more so. We are down a lot. I would expect probably a little bit of a bounce at open or at some point during the day. However, we got all of this volume now. So starting somewhere from 145.98 all the way up to 147.52 is going to be a major resistance on it. That also works us right back into the 20 EMA too. So I think we probably get a pop on this one out of the gate. That's what I'm expecting. We'll see what actually happens, but that's what I'm expecting. And then we do have targets where I might be interested around 133.33. Give me those threes, something to that extent. That would be a much better spot to try and say, hey, you know what? I missed out on a good $55 move and I don't want to do it again. Where should I buy it? I would let this gap kind of close, and then go from there. But earnings weren't bad. Earnings were good. Just, I mean, it's unless you're Nvidia. Peter says ZS. Clarice says Biden is awful. Don't beat around the bush. Tell me how you really feel, Clarice. Just throw it out there. We got Zscaler. So Zscaler, nice little gap here on earnings. This is a fun one, actually. We got a $17 million beat. We beat by 33% on earnings per share. Let me see if there's any short float on Zscaler. 5%, so not horrific. Not horrific. You do have all those moving averages right above you, but even the way this candle closed yesterday, people weren't thinking this was going to be that great of a earnings report. So we'll see. But nice little pivot, nice little gap up. You do have 5% short float. Definitely some bears getting burned on this one. Targets might be an issue, but so far, I mean, we looked at two, so 50% of it is now my favorite. We'll throw that right toward the top of the list. Right in front of that 200, which makes me a little concerned. And then we have like 188.09. Maybe we can see like 192.37. Targets is what's going to worry me on this one. Other than that, it's really good gap. And could get some more momentum into it. That's the gap this stock needed. We even has this volume candle. I'm not going to count because that's from the earnings. But this one right here is a pretty big major down break. Lots of bears probably piling in. Good location, good close. Bears felt pretty good. So yeah, let's keep that one pretty high on the list. Chewy for a fade. I think you'd want to be in the direction of the momentum on that gap up. I don't necessarily know that it does anything crazy today. I do have the spots I'd be watching for is somewhere around 21.92 for resistance and support 21.43. I would much rather, I think, be buying off support than trying to short at the resistance. Just me. It looks like yesterday or 2 days ago, we obviously had the earnings, good breakout candle. We're above the 200. We're not really gapping. I mean, it's a gap and go today, so that's still a little extra bullish sentiment, but this is more of a profit-taking candle, resting candle. I wouldn't be surprised if this one chops for another day or two before trying to make this move. Besides the 200, which we're still above, but we're still pretty far away from all other moving averages. So I wouldn't put it past it where this one just kind of hangs out, but I'd rather be bullish than bearish after that gap. And it's got a huge target. Mike says leaps on Dell. I wouldn't yet. No. If we get closer to that 130 zone, it's probably not a bad opportunity. But I would be waiting for a little bit more of a pullback, which obviously can happen. Like we said on Qs and we said on SPY, we're not running crazy bullish. We got some targets we got to break through. Dell also said they're going to have a weaker quarter too, so that gives us 3 months. So I think you have patience to find your location for the leaps. I don't mind them, but I would wait a little bit longer. Yep. Wait for some of the carnage to drop. We got Beyond Das Meats. I don't know why I want to I feel like I want to make them a little more German. I don't know why, but Beyond Das Meats. Beyond Das Meats. Retest gap from yesterday. Nice little gap up. You do have resistance coming in at $7.43. See if you get a pullback first with that resistance there. But decent looking gap. Obviously got a good short float. I don't think many bears are getting scared on this one yet. But if we do pull back, some of the bears that are scared will probably now have the opportunity to get out for some gains, some profits. So see if we get a pullback first. Maybe look for like 736. We're not too far away from that one. And then maybe if we come down to like 731 would be a decent spot if you wanted to try to play it. You're probably right at the 618 maybe from the move. Might even be lower. Yeah, if we're going with the top of that wick. Yeah, much lower. Yeah, we're still below the 618, even with this gap up. So I'd wait for that one to pull back a little bit more. So Exxon Mobil, I feel like I'm missing a lot of tickers today, so I apologize, but I'm just seeing, randomly when I see them, I'm like, okay, let's go to that one. Exxon Mobil. So if I don't cover it, just throw it in the chat again. Exxon Mobil. Not bad. Got good consolidation. This could definitely be a bear flag. All right. So I'm not going to put that past it that we're definitely running bullish. This could be some kind of bear flag here. If you want to go bullish, obviously the overall trend has been bullish. This is still a decent little pullback. I think if we start to break down maybe even yesterday's candle, then this is definitely more confirmation on a bear flag. So watch that candle from yesterday. If we start to break down, we probably do pull back maybe into this 200. Otherwise, wave count, and again, this is not going to be perfect, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, consolidation, breakout from here. So if you're bullish on it, maybe you want to take probably the break of 2 days ago for entry. Again, stop would be right below yesterday's candle for me. And then you do have more than enough room back into this just above 118 zone. So probably about a 2-hour trade with a tighter setup on it. Not bad. Not bad. I kind of like it. More for a swing day trade. It's gonna be tougher, I think, on a day trade. You got 114.40 blocking you, and that's again, we need a close above that one for kind of any breakout to the bullish direction. CRM. Yeah, that one nobody bought that one yesterday. I guess at the very end of the day they did. Which okay. I've got a volume area down there, so we were watching this when we tried. The rest of the market did start to eventually bounce, and so did CRM. But yeah, we tried to play that initial bounce off the right out of the gate. That one didn't fill us, just dropped, kept going. We were watching zones down here. Eventually, we did get a little bit of a bounce. Interesting hammer we threw in yesterday off of a very good location. So that's definitely a hammer that I think should hold. Swing trade would be fantastic. I think taking a break higher than it. You're still going to have a little resistance probably coming in around 224.67. If you could get past that, you have room all the way up to about 250. So there is a lot of potential for this gap fill. It's an okay hammer. Would love to see it do nothing today and just chop arounds, quite honestly. But yeah, you probably set some kind of entry like 224.97 and stop 211. More than enough room, even up to that 200 for right now. We got Roblox. I don't even know what happened with that screen, but okay. Roblox. Oh. Uh-oh. Roblox stock. When did this come out? This was yesterday. Faces death cross as mixed earnings, downgraded outlook, signal trouble ahead. Is this Benzinga? Oh, it is Benzinga. You can just kind of just tell like the way they write their articles. It is Benzinga. But all right. Death to Smoochie. Nice little gap up today though, so we'll see if that one gets saved. Um it's a retest from yesterday too. See if we get a pullback. I don't really want a big one, but I want to come down, retest $33.30. You should have a little bit more support somewhere around $33.12. 20-day moving average right in front of you, so that might act as a little resistance. 33.79, but if we get past it, the next spot would take us to about 34.87 for today. So not horrific. But I do want to see maybe a little high wave candle. Let's get that higher on the list. So we get a high wave, something we could set a trade up. I'd go bullish on it for sure. But I want to see some pullback. LPA or 684%. It's a normal day for any stock. Logistic Properties of Americas. That sounds made up, to be quite honest with you. That doesn't even sound like a real company. I don't know. But obviously people love them. The one person who bought it. Wall Street set to open modestly higher for real estate stocks that should keep you up at night. I wouldn't sleep. With either excitement or just terrified. Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's probably where does stock come from? Sounds like Kramerica from Seinfeld. Is this the warrant prices or yeah, I don't know. That is quite the move. I'm definitely not a buyer up here. This is a retest gap if you must play it. I would just stay away. You could either try to buy the stock or just put all your money, like just get cash and then put it into a big bag and throw it into the fireplace. Either option. I'm not sure which one's more fun. I'm gonna stay away from that one. It's a shed in a guy's backyard in Jersey. Yeah, I know. There was a SPAC like that. Like SPAC for anybody that doesn't know, you don't quite fit like the criteria to become like you don't have the financials to become a actual like traded on the market. So then you partner with some investment firms. So now your balance sheet looks good. And I think there was a guy just selling like sandwiches in Jersey, and he was a SPAC in the market. It's pretty remarkable. Seems safe. AI. Uh, I don't know if that one's listed anywhere. I got to figure out what ticker that was. Um, $29 would be my kind of target. We did hit that yesterday. We also hit the next one up, 29.09. So we have two breakable spots for targets. The next one up would take us to about $30.50. A little bit of a retest inside day. See if we get a pullback spot. I would be looking for is about 28.42. But good breakout candle above the. This has the what was the stock we just looked at? I forget. Wasn't beyond Chewy. It's got the Chewy feel to it. It's going to be different than Chewy, but there's a nice little breakout. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe we even do get a new higher today, but I think a well-deserved rest day. They put the work in yesterday. John says I think they moved dirt. Well, they're moving paper now. They're moving They got into the paper business. They're moving some money, 685%. Until it says Dell Smokes. We got MU and Ulta. Let's see if we can cover both of those. MU. My boy, Ivo, I haven't seen you in a minute too. Now you show up randomly. You got three tickers out there. Where have you been? Where have you been, Ivo? I missed you. We got 126.38. Not much of a gap. That is a disappointing candle, obviously, for the Bulls yesterday. Even though the market kind of ran this one decent little drop on it. For some comfort, you're close to that support, but you're still below it, 126.61. Next little target down could get me to 125.50, 125.48. It's got a little support in there. That might be something that the Bulls could kind of hang their hats on, and you do have that 20 kind of coming up there too, and very noticeable double top in the market. Yeah. I'd have to. That was a good 1.8 bounce. All right, there was one other I said I was going to get to for you, Ivo. Ulta Beauty. Yeah, they were crushing it after earnings. So good earnings. Hard to keep a good company down. It's into resistance at open. This should be a little bit of a fade. Not sure where we get to. This could be the spot here. The first spot I want to throw an order out yet, but 414.66. Otherwise, we come down to like 409.21, something like that. But I'd want to find some kind of support. I do think this one should retest, and it looks like it's doing that already. Everybody out there in YouTube land, man, it's the end of May. That's crazy, but you guys are absolutely incredible. Appreciate you guys joining us each and every day, all month long. We'll do it again June with you guys. We'll do it again in June. We'll see what the market wants to give us today and to finish this up, and then we'll roll it into next.